From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fairbanks Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Our top story, the North Pole City Council last night advanced Mayor Bryce Ward's proposed 2015 city budget to a third reading.
The $5.6 million spending plan is underfunded by about $132,000 and will be up for approval December 1st.
In an effort to offset the budget's shortfall, Mayor Ward proposed an increase to the city's sales tax. As Jamie Schwartzwald reports, that proposal was met with public resistance.
Sales tax does not help us. It's not our friend.
Are you not paying attention to the economic realities that we face as a city and a state?
You're choking us. It's going to choke the local person.
Public comment on an ordinance to increase the North Pole sales tax from 4 to 4.5%, as well as raising the sales tax cap from $8 to $10. Councilman Thomas McGee moved to amend the ordinance to do away with the cap increase. That amendment passed 6-1 with Councilwoman Sharon Hunter casting the lone no vote.
It's a modest increase, and I'd like to see a modest increase.
The ordinance also included increases to the city's alcohol sales tax as well as its wholesale tax on tobacco. Attempts to amend those increases were voted down. Councilman Kevin McCarthy then moved to amend the ordinance to do away with the 0.5% increase to the citywide sales tax.
I don't like the idea of the whole thing going from 4 to 4.5. I don't think going the 0.5% is putting out North Pole's best foot forward.
A sales tax is something that you do by choice. There is a choice. You can go to Fairbanks. You can go outside of the city limits. But a lot of people choose to shop here because of the convenience, because of what we have to offer. My intention behind this was, the people that come in that tax those services help pay for those services.
McCarthy's amendment passed 4-3, and the ordinance as amended advanced to a second reading on December 1st. Councilman McGee cast the lone vote against advancement.
If we don't make the increase as proposed by 6 of the members on this thing, where are we going to get the money?
All the capital projects, they all cost money. There are places to cut. We just have to be creative. We just have to be resourceful.
Jamie Schwartzwald reporting.
A Superior Court judge has granted a temporary stay in the civil lawsuit between the school district and an alleged abuse victim of former employee Claude Folks. This afternoon, Judge Bethany Harbison granted the stay through May 1st, 2015. The family members of the unnamed male teenager who claims he was sexually abused by Folks at Hutchison High School are seeking over $1 million in damages in the suit. The borough asked for the stay due to the lack of availability of evidence provided from Folks and his lawyer, including over 30 hours of audio. Both sides are set to enter mediation in Seattle December 1st, and borough lawyer Jill Dolan said if an agreement is reached, the civil suit will be settled out of court.
Not guilty pleas for 2 North Pole men accused of kidnapping, robbery, and burglary. 40-year-old Isaac Horman and 57-year-old Bill Kraus are accused of pulling into the driveway of a residence in North Pole, approaching the male victim with a gun and forcing him to hand over his cell phone, money, and wallet. Horman and Kraus then reportedly forced a woman into their vehicle at gunpoint and left the scene. The two allegedly called the male victim, demanding over $1,000 ransom, but they later crashed the vehicle into a ditch and the woman was able to escape. Trial for their case was set for February 2015.
A Fairbanks man accused of stabbing another male outside of a downtown Fairbanks bar was arraigned this afternoon in Fairbanks Superior Court. 24-year-old Travis Lowridge pleaded not guilty to charges of first-degree felony assault. An affidavit states Lowridge was involved in a fight inside of Kodiak Jack's. He allegedly returned to the bar later and got into another fight in the parking lot. During the second altercation, Lowridge reportedly stabbed a man multiple times in the abdomen and chest. The victim was taken to Fairbanks Memorial Hospital where he had to undergo surgery. Trial for his case is set for February.
Okay, when we come back, Fairbanks Mayor John Eberhart was in court today to hear charges regarding his mayoral campaign.
Also, the rescue mission is preparing for their big Thanksgiving dinner. Those stories are next. Stay with us.
Welcome back. A Ketchikan Superior Court judge has ruled in a case challenging how the state funds education. The Ketchikan Borough, with support from the Fairbanks North Star Borough, filed a suit over the state's requirement that local municipalities must pay contributions to fund schools. According to the ruling, the local contribution should not be a required part of education funding. The state said in a statement that it's disappointed and it's evaluating appeal options. Borough Mayor Luke Hopkins told us the Constitution says the state will provide funding for education, not local taxpayers.
The legal question has been answered for the time being. So is the state going to step up and come up with another over $200 million that represents the required local contribution that has been in the school formula funding process year after year after year. And so I certainly hope that we sit down and we look at that and how is that going to be accomplished.
Fairbanks Mayor John Eberhardt is appealing a ruling from the Alaska Public Offices Commission that he engaged in quid pro quo corruptive activities during his 2012 mayoral campaign. During oral arguments in Judge Michael McConaughey's courtroom this afternoon, Eberhardt's attorney, Mike Wallery, argued that no such corruption took place. The original complaint was filed by Lee Despain, who claimed Eberhardt made photocopies to benefit his campaign at his place of employment, the Tanana Chiefs Conference. Wallery argued that the copies represented an incidental expense and not campaign corruption. Also at hand was a campaign contribution to Eberhardt that was written on a corporate check. Wallery says the check was returned the day it was received in action in line with APOC regulations. Judge McConaughey will make his ruling without hearing an argument from the appealee, as representatives from the State Attorney General's office failed to attend today's hearing.
We're a little bit shocked that the state didn't show up. Of course, I think it has a lot to do with the weakness of their case, as you've obviously heard me talk about. But I don't know why they didn't show up.
Volunteers at the Fairbanks Rescue Mission are getting ready for their annual community Thanksgiving dinner. The nonprofit provides the dinner for anyone who comes by. The Rescue Mission works year-round to provide shelter to men and women who have nowhere else to go. Executive Director Rodney Gaskin says the Thanksgiving holiday is the busiest time of year for the organization. They take in about 150 turkeys donated to them by the food bank and by members of the community. Gaskin says that the turkey donations in particular can have the rescue mission feeding meat to people through most of next year.
Meat is something that we're always in need of. And turkey is a great meal, just a good balanced meal that we can provide the rest of the year. It's an amazing event. In my job, I sit at a vantage point where I can truly see the generosity of this community. And our whole month of November, that's been our focus, to show the amazing things that are happening at the rescue mission. But I can continue to tell the stories that would not do it justice until you see it.
The flu is still having a major impact across the U.S., and people are still being urged to get their shots. Monty Bowen has details now in this week's Health Report.
Coming down with the flu is expensive. Government estimates put the annual economic impact of the flu at around $87 billion. Your out-of-pocket costs can total quite a bit. That doesn't count the unpaid sick days that many people have to take. It's not too late to get a flu shot, and the Centers for Disease Control say it is your best bet at avoiding that bill.
We started earlier than usual, was intense, and remained elevated for 15 consecutive weeks.
Under the Affordable Care Act, in most cases, insured consumers can get their vaccination free through an in-network provider. That doesn't mean you should not shop around. Some supermarket and pharmacy clinics are sweetening the deal. You do have to be aware of factors that could bump up the cost. New quadrivalent vaccines, which protect against an extra flu strain, and ones administered by way of a nasal spray, both cost more if you're paying out of pocket. This is Monty Bowen reporting.
The Health Report is brought to you by the Ear, Nose, and Throat Clinic, located in the Medical Dental Arts Building. Call 456-7768.
Always learn something interesting, and tonight I've learned that Stephanie does not like needles.
I hate needles. I couldn't even bear to see that.
Well, it's good to get your flu shot. Woo. That's true. Okay, Joe Cook is next with news of another Ice Dog player committing to a Division I hockey program.
Plus a special Nana Corner for the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday. Those stories are next. No shots, so come back.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back, Interior Sports fans. Joe Cook here this Tuesday evening with your local sports. We'll have the Nana Corner, but first, big news from the Fairbanks Ice Dogs organization today. Forward Chandler Maudry committed to the Minnesota State Mavericks. Maudry is having a breakout season, leading the NHL and scoring with 39 points The Denver, Colorado native leads the league in assists with 27. He had 25 points in 48 games last year. Minnesota State, a WCHA team, is led by third-year head coach Mike Hastings. They are ranked 7th in the country right now and just swept WCHA first-place team Michigan Tech. They have 6 seniors on their roster. The Mavs have shown interest in Marjorie since preseason camps, and Marjorie believes the Mavs are his best bet and will head to Mankato next season.
That was a big thing for me. You know, I can go in next year and contribute, and the coaching staff's been good about that. Let me know, you know, what I can do and how to keep going the season and keep producing, and you know, where I'll fit in there is made sense to me. That's why I picked it, and I'm excited. And they have a great arena out there. They get great fan support, great student support as well. So I'm really excited.
And the rain is over, but the Nanook skiing team, they have a lot to build off of. Over the weekend, the Nanooks battled their rival, the Seawolves of Anchorage, for the Nordic Cup. After 2 days of skiing, UAA would win the Nordic Cup by being 39 seconds faster in total time. UAF has won the past 2 cups. Sunday, senior Logan Hahnemann and freshman Halvard Avestad won the men's sprint relay in 18 minutes, 31.24 seconds. The women's duo of Nicole Bathe and Antine Marquette placed second in 21 minutes, 55.6 seconds. UAF will be back on the trails in Houghton, Michigan on January 4th, 2015 for the U.S. Nationals.
You know, no matter the conditions, it's still fun to get out and go against them. And next time we see them is at U.S. Nationals and then at NCAA championships. So, yeah, there's big gaps between this. But yeah, since these are always the first races of the year, so it's good to go against the in-state rivals.
And now the Nanook Corner. We sit down with Samantha Hesterman of the UAF volleyball team. The junior libero has been a major player on the UAF's back line. She's missed a number of matches this season, not due to injury or academics, but to be with her sister who is fighting brain cancer. Here's more.
Someone that you meet and you instantly want to be her friend. She's so funny. She has a really great attitude and personality. She's positive when everything around her is negative.
Leah Ruby is junior libero Samantha Hesterman's big sister. Leah was diagnosed with brain cancer in August of 2012. The news blindsided Samantha.
You don't think it's going to happen to your family. And when it first does, you don't want to accept it. You don't want to believe it. You kind of feel numb almost, and you don't know really what to feel until you start going through it.
Samantha was instantly supported by her team. She's missed a number of matches to visit Leah since 2012, but UAF became an extended family.
I don't know if I was any help at all, but to be able to be there when her parents weren't there and her sister wasn't there, to just be able to, you know, be a loving person, to say I care about you and what do you need? And I think it really showed her that for the first time that a team isn't just some, you know, a group of people that you really rely on to score points. It's a family, and it's somebody that thousands of miles away you can really count on.
While Leah battles cancer in Minton, Alberta Hospital, Samantha battles on the volleyball court. The sisters developed a pregame ritual.
Every time after she comes out of surgery, my family will be in the waiting room and they'll wheel her by and she'll give us thumbs up. And that just lets us know that she's okay and that surgery went well. So then before games recently, she's been sending me pictures of her giving her thumbs up to me, and I'll send her a thumbs up back. And it just lets us know that even though what we're going through, we're stronger than ever.
Samantha has become a more determined player, realizing she's playing for more than wins. Her team sees her as an inspiration.
You see it when she plays on the court. I think it's made her like a stronger athlete and an individual on and off the court, and I think that's so great. You know, when she gets out there, you can see that she's a strong leader. And I think just seeing Sam working her butt off every day and trying so hard and having that strength for her sister and her family, like, really carries over to us.
This Thanksgiving, Leah, who is 25 years old and always finding the good in the bad, her story, her fight, is teaching her little sister and the Nanooks about what to be thankful for.
If I can be a blessing to her, great, but it's really neat when your athlete blesses you in a different way. I mean, that's incredible. I'm definitely thankful for my family and my friends, and I'm thankful to be a Nanook. And one thing that I think it's important to remember is when we're playing, we're not fighting a battle. We're doing what we love. We're playing the game that we love. There's people that are fighting a battle. That's not us. We're doing what we love every day.
Nanook Corner, brought to you by Sports Medicine Fairbanks.
And after finding another tumor in late September, Leah will undergo radiation on December 1st before starting 12 months of chemotherapy. KTVS Sports wishes her and Samantha the best. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Mike Schultz is next with your 4-weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back into a Tuesday night edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again talking about the weather. And we got the snow, and we got a lot more snow than I was expecting. But I'm kind of glad to see it because I know it gives it that real holiday look. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit. Photograph tonight sent in by Wayne Jex. He was out at Delta Junction area and was able to capture this beautiful sunset here off of the ice-covered river. And again, the colors are just magnificent. And as always, if you have a photograph, be sure and send it to photos@ktvf11.com. Well, speaking of conditions right now, we're looking at a little bit of light snow still falling, 16 degrees after a high of 17, the low last night 14. Record high 54 degrees in 1936 and in opposite 43 below in 1994. Sunrise and sunset, about 5 hours and 8 minutes of daylight. And that's a loss of 5 minutes from yesterday. And speaking of the snow, well, the air quality, actually, this is not right. The air quality is okay right now. We're gonna tell you about some snowfall totals, and we'll pass that along to you. That the North Pole area had 4 inches of snow. The Fort Wainwright area had 3 inches of snow, and the Fairbanks International Airport had 2 inches of snow. So pretty well widely spread across the area, but no air quality in effects right now. So that's good news to pass along. Here's your satellite and radar. As you can see, we're looking at a little bit of moisture still moving through the Fairbanks area. And as we zoom in around the area, we can see a little bit of shower activity across the Prince William Sound and also over southeast Alaska and out to the west. Another big storm, but that's going to be moving rapidly to the north and not really affecting our weather. As far as the rest of the state's weather is concerned, well, we have rain still falling across southeast Alaska, 40 degrees at Juneau and 44 at Ketchikan. Anchorage just looking at partly cloudy skies, 33 degrees there. Along the Aleutian chain, cloudy skies at Cold Bay, up and down the west coast. Not too bad. It warmed up a little bit at Nome, 15 degrees, but chilly in Barrow, 7 degrees below zero. Fort Yukon at 0. Lower 48 weather, looking at Pacific Northwest, once again, widespread rainfall over the northwest part of the states, and over the south, just the opposite. Sunshine has returned to the Texas area, still some snow falling around the Minneapolis area, and also some snow being reported in New England and northeastern sections of the country, thunderstorms over the southeast. And as far as the satellite and radar, look at all the moisture and cold air moving on down from the north to the south once again. And this storm is going to become a big, mean situation. In fact, it's going to bring quite a bit of weather along with it, with the fresh cold air coming in from the western side of it. It's going to help to fuel that, and it can be a wide spread swath of snow. Try saying that 3 times real fast. As you can see, rain over the eastern side of the storm system, but to the west, lots of snow, and some of it could be up to a foot in parts of Pennsylvania and western New York, just what they need, right? And as far as the jet stream is concerned for later on this week, again, jet stream moving from northwest to southeast across the Great Lakes, more lake effect snows. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. It looks like this in the northern sections, mostly sunny skies at Barrow, snow expected in Nome, and partly cloudy skies for Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, the snow will be out of the picture, mostly cloudy skies at Fairbanks, Healy, and Delta Junction, and turning colder by tomorrow night. Over southeast Alaska, the rains will be basically moving out of the area with winds developing in Juneau and becoming sunny skies for Ketchikan. And over to the southwest, again, a mixed bag of weather, snow showers at Bethel, cloudy with a little rain at Cold Bay, and just cloudy skies for Kodiak, while down to the south central sections, looking at mostly sunny skies in Anchorage, sunny at Homer, and winds for Valdez. Okay, time once again for our kids' weather. All this week, we're talking with the kids from Ladd Elementary School. And tonight, we have a very nice picture from a young lady.
That I painted this weather picture is because I live in Alaska, obviously, and the lights are just so beautiful and gorgeous, and so I had to draw a storm, so I decided to do a snowstorm with the aurora borealis as a background.
Maggie, I think you could display that in an art museum around here and get wide reviews, believe me. Again, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank for sponsoring our kids' weather. Tomorrow night, a young lady will be here with a question about snowfall in Fairbanks. Okay, here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. Light snow slowly tapering off, light amounts, 1 degree, the overnight low. Tomorrow's forecast, mostly cloudy, turning colder by evening, 2 degrees for the high, and the extended forecast calling for temperatures dropping down below zero at night. Daytime highs right around in the single digits, and no more snow in the forecast. Thanksgiving looks like it's going to be dry and cool, but not real cold. That's not too bad.
That's the question, Thanksgiving. What does everybody like for Thanksgiving?
Turkey.
Sweet potato pie.
You don't say.
That will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, Ferguson, Missouri prepares for another night of violence. That's next with Brian Williams.
Join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
From all of us here at the News Center, have a good night.
Night.